Hi, welcome to OpenRose, a free and open source requirements management application. Find more information about the same at github.com/openrose. So in today's video, we are going to talk about the new feature that we have introduced called as copy data. Before we start looking at the copy aspect, let's first understand the project structure that I'm going to use in this particular example. Going into the projects, we see there are 4 projects, and the one that I'm going to use as a demo project today is the charity fundraising project. Let me open it up in a tree view and expand the first level. There are 3 main stages here: pre-fundraising preparation for the event, conducting the event, which is nothing but fundraising event execution, and then post-fundraising activities. Within pre-fundraising preparation, we have certain details or certain requirements. These are very high level requirements. We can certainly break it down further if required. But you could consider that this example is nothing but some sort of template project that we could reuse again and again as and when we conduct charity fundraising events. So in the pre-fundraising preparation, we are talking about defining the goals for the fundraising, identifying the target audience, planning the fundraising campaign, then securing the permissions and approvals required to run the fundraising event, and so forth. And the next one is execution of the fundraising. Here we see execute the fundraising event, then engage with participants and volunteers, monitor event progress, collect donations, and so forth. Again, this can be divided or defined furthermore by creating sub requirements and the structure below it. And finally, we have post fundraising activity, and this is where again we have a flat list of requirements. So we are doing a summarize the campaign performance, thank all the donors and volunteers, distribute post event reports, send some emails, and thank people who attended it and who registered and showed certain keen interest in the event, and so forth. But one of the important one here is to create and publish social media video and reels showcasing fundraising success. Now this one we have divided into some smaller items. So we can see plan the video content, produce and edit those video reels, and then publish them and promote them. So when you do the planning, we say identify the key moments and capture them, draft scripts and visual concepts, and so forth. And then we have the production of it. So make sure that we have a high quality footage and images, and then edit those videos for social media platforms, and then we publish them at different social media and promote them and track and analyze the performance of those videos over the time, and keep improvising these activities. So just imagine that any such organization that runs fundraising activities will need to do certain activities repetitively. Now, we have certain links as well within this project. We'll talk about those traceabilities later on, but let me first start by showing you how we can do copy of data at different levels. The first level is the granular level, which is the requirement level. You can go pick up one requirement, whether it is a parent to other requirements or the leafmost or the child node, which does not have any further children's. The idea here is just simply pick up the ID of that requirement and then create a copy of it. For example, if I want to take a copy of video editing, there could be multiple different software we might be using for editing purposes. So I just want to create a copy of this. I'll just go ahead and take a ID. So I'm just copying the ID and then open the copy. I can open it up here, or I can just control click to open it up in a new tab. And here we have 3 options: copy entire project, copy a given item type, or copy an item. Because we are talking about the leaf item node, which is nothing but a requirement, let me start by doing a copy of the same. When I do a copy, it first shows me which record am I trying to copy, and then I click on copy. It says successfully copied. Now the copy is created. The idea here is that the copy will be immediately below that requirement. So let me just go over to produce, And you can see here that when I did a copy of this requirement, it created it just below it, and then it added something called as copy and a random number. We decided to go for random number instead of making copy 1, copy 2, copy 3, and we have published those information in our wiki why we decided to do this particular implementation in this fashion or in this manner. That's nothing but our design decision how we want to implement the copy feature. So this is across the board. Whether you copy project, item type, or a requirement like an item, you will have a suffix added at the end, which will be underscore copy with a random number. Because it is a copy, now we can edit it, we can modify it, we can move it somewhere else, we can simply work with it. So that's the first part, copy an individual item. Now I don't need this anymore, so I'm just going to go and delete that item. Now let's copy the parent which has got some children's. So it has got 3 children's, and then the first child has got 2 more and 2 more and 2 more. So that's the structure that we want to copy. In that case, again, it's very simple. Pick up the ID, go over into the copy, say I want to copy the item, and provide the detail of that parent item. When I put the ID there, it certainly goes and picks up all the details of that parent record. And then here we go. I can just simply do a copy. It is done. Go back here. I just need to refresh this to see my copy. Again, let's go back here and we can see we have a copy which is exactly the same structure that we have in our copy as well. All that data that we have will be straight away copied across. So the status, priority, severity, description, all those data will be copied. But one thing I want to show is if you had any change history. So in the original one, we don't have massive change history. But if, let's say, there were some changes that we had done, then those changes will not be copied over. You will not see the complete change log here. You will only see that we have this data that we just captured, and it's nothing but a copied data. It's not modified or added event, it's the copy event. That's the same for every record that we have just copied. If I go to change history, we'll see that copy information. That means it will only have one entry in the change history, which is nothing but the first copied entry containing what data did it copied at what time. And there are no old values because we just created a copy. Now here we see that we have just done a copy of the data. So I don't need this anymore. Let me just go in here and delete those 10 records. Okay, so now that I would like to do a copy of the entire item type, I can go into the item type here, pick up the ID of that item type, go into the copy and create a copy of that item type. So let's put in the ID. It has found the correct item type that I want to copy. I'm happy with it. So let's do a copy. It's very quick. We have X number of records, but it just did the copy. I'll just refresh my screen, expand this, and here it is. The same data structure that we have in every requirement in the change history. You will see it has just done a copy, and it's exactly the same records. Otherwise, it's the same data that we have allowed it to be copied over. Okay, so now I don't need this. So I just need to go into the project here in the details view, and then the one that I don't need, I can go and edit that and delete it out. I just have to do the deletion from the detail view, so I just went there. Going back to our project here, we can see again back to how it was. The third type of copy is nothing but the entire project. We can go up into the project, take the project ID, go over and say I want to copy the whole project. Put in the ID of the project, verify that that's the project that you want to copy, and then copy the selected project. Once the copy is done, you can go back into the projects list, and you will definitely see here the copied project. If I now go into the data for that project, look at the tree view data, look at the requirement, and then look at the change history, I'll see copied there, and at what date and time did I did the copy. So it's just very simple. We try to make it as simple as possible, that you can do a copy of data within the project, within item types, or at item level or requirement level. One other thing I want to explain is the traceability part as well. So if I go back to the original project, let me open it up in the tree view, pick up the second item type, which is fundraising event execution, and the second requirement, which is engage participants and volunteers. Now this is where we have a traceability. So to do that in terms of making sure that we engage our participants, we just also need to identify the right audience, right participants as well. So we do make sure that we perform several promotions. So here we have publish and promote as a child. To be able to engage our participants in the future events, we need to also make sure that we publish and promote the fundraising event information. So when I go up there, we can see it's nothing but publish and promote, which is in the post fundraising activity, which has a parent back to engage participants and volunteers. Now this same information will be available in the copied project as well. So if I go in there, inside the engage participants and volunteers, we have a traceability to publish and promote, and that particular record is in the copy project. So if I go there, you can see I'm still in the same copy project, and I have got the traceability back to the engage participants and volunteers. And this would also be true if I do a copy within the project. So if I go in there, you can see here we have in the original project engage participants and volunteers. Now what I'm going to do is pick up the ID of this particular record. We know that it's pointing to publish and promote, which is here in the same project. So let's just go and create a single item copy, which is nothing but engage participants and volunteers. Make a copy within that project, which is the source project, charity fundraising project. Let me expand this by refreshing and then expanding. We should now have a second copy of the same requirement, and in the copy we should still be pointing to the original publish and promote item or the requirement. So I can just go there, and it's actually still the same one in the same project. So it's in the same project. As you can see, I now have traceability back to two records. One is the original one, and second one is the copy. So when you do a copy within the project, the traceability will be maintained in that project. But if you create a copy outside of the project, i.e. you create the entire project copy, then in that specific project, in the copied project, you will see the self-contained traceabilities. So that's the idea about how we have done the implementation of copy. Three different levels, which is nothing but copy project, copy item type, copy item. We have kept these options in a separate area. That means you have to come here, select the copy option and do the copy, instead of having this available inside every record. We've just decided to keep it outside. This way you are explicitly going out to make a copy. We just don't want you to duplicate your data and create multiple records in one command, because you can actually do a copy of the project, item type and item. We decided to introduce a new option in the left hand side menu here for you. Okay, so that was all about how we could use copy as a new feature, which is delivered as part of the new version that we have just released, which is 0120. With that, we would like to thank you for your time. Please share with others about OpenRose. It's free, it's open source, and it's for the community to use this product and give us feedback. Thanks a lot and have a great day. Bye bye.